Sydney, career high today, 21 points. You guys put up 24 right out of the gate before you even gave up one. Just what was working for you guys?
Honestly, we kind of were just clicking. Like, we always had that chemistry, and I think this was the kind of game that we needed after bouncing back from that loss. So I think just coming together and just playing the ball that we normally play just is what we needed to do.
Would you come into this game hoping for? You're playing Lincoln. Lincoln's Lincoln and everything, but just kind of what did you want to learn about yourself, and did you guys learn that?
Honestly, we came in with the same game plan we come in with everyone we play. Like Mox always says, respect all, fear none. So we came with the same game plan, be ourselves, like do what we do, and that's just what we did.
How valuable is it to, in a game like this, you get a lot of the young players in, a lot of players that haven't had any experience, just looking back on your time when you got your first experience, just how valuable can this be for them to be able to get out there and get their first points?
Oh, it's very valuable. For them to all just get out there and just, get the nerves off of them and just play how they normally, it's what they need to get the confidence that they need. And it's super fun to just cheer them on for the bench when they make points.
Who's the most fun to cheer for? Who are you guys pulling for the most when they get out there?
Everyone. We're not really one specific person. That's what I love about our team. We're always cheering on every single person, whether they make it or not, honestly.
You guys, of course, we're looking ahead already, but you guys have Mizzou coming up and nationally ranked South Dakota State team to end the non-conference season. Just what could today do to just kind of give you that confidence going into a couple pretty big games for you guys?
Yeah, honestly, today we kind of just showed us like how our team is. We bounced back from a loss that we should have won, and we all played together, and this kind of gave confidence to every single person. And like, hey, like you can. This is what we need you to do to step up for the team in order for us to win.
How bad was that taste in your guys' mouth? You guys had you guys have the great win over Maryland, and you have kind of a setback the next day. It kind of stuck there for a little bit, not playing Tulsa, and you had to wait a little bit to get this game. Just how was it this past week following a loss after kind of a historic win for this program?
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of awful. Honestly, like we obviously hate losing, especially winning like a big game against Maryland. But, we took that game and we learned from it, and we practiced really hard this week and practiced what we didn't really do well during Wake Forest. And that kind of showed tonight. So I think we're ready for the next two games.
Obviously, we know that your team you can score a lot of points. Talk about defensive intensity and how you felt you guys did coming out tonight and just shutting them down defensively.
Yeah, honestly, we're good offensively, but like defensively, like really good. We have two big posts, and our posts can even guard guards, which there's a lot of posts like guard-like in the conference, which is really well. And, we have Bryce, she's the defensive player of the year. She's freaking amazing. And we have Maya with quick hands. So honestly, everyone coming off the bench is really good defense too. And that's what we need, honestly.
You've also got some stellar offense off the bench. I know Ellie's always great from three. Tonight, she comes in off the bench and within 4 seconds has already knocked down a three. Just how valuable is it to have a player like her that can come off the bench and can just light up the scoreboard in a second?
Oh, very valuable. We know as soon as it's going up, it's going in. She's freaking amazing. She dedicates her time a lot, stays in after practice, comes in before practice to get the shots, and she knocks them down in the game when we need them.
How was it just being in front of a crowd? You guys it's been so long. You've had your heart broken by all this COVID stuff. Way different tonight. It was weird, but just how was it just being a player on the court in front of fans?
I think we're all so excited just to finally play at the Q in front of our fans. I know our fans were dying to watch us play, but I think it was really awesome and just fun to just play in front of our fans. They actually, like, the first time they can see us play together, like, in front of us. So it's what we needed to start off.
You guys usually have the best seats in the house right there. Now that you guys are like spread out and some are behind the others and some are behind the rim, is there a seat you guys are fighting for? Like, what's the best view? Are there some bad views now of the game?
Honestly, it was kind of assigned seat. So, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But like Sid Manning has I would say the bad view. She said that she can't see anything. She's like right behind the basket, but we honestly just they like, you're sitting here, so assign seats. So
Fitting Abby, trying to fit Abby Jackson in right now. Just kind of how has that gone? And she seemed to be able to get onto court a little more tonight.
yeah, this game I feel like is what Abby J needed. Honestly, she waited so long to finally be eligible to play, and she's a huge contributor to this team. She's so athletic and defensively and offensively. Like, she has that turnaround jumper that's no one can guard. This is the game that she needed her confidence, and she's gonna be really well for this team.
Do you think that jumper kind of fills? I know that Alexa Willer was kind of the jumper person before. Does she kind of help fill that role a bit now that you've lost Alexa?
Yeah, definitely. We obviously miss Willie. She was a huge contributor, but having Abby J also now, like, she definitely fits that role too.
Just talk about how the team's been doing as far as just trying to stay healthy. I mean, how difficult is it in a time like this? Just trying to make sure each other, checking on each other, make sure everyone's doing the right things.
Yeah, it's obviously hard. Everyone's honestly around the whole country is dealing with the same thing. We're just trying to look after each other, make sure everyone's okay mentally and physically. Our coaches are always checking in on us. We have a trainer who's, always there for us too, making sure that we're okay. So we're all there for each other, like family.
How hard is that mental part?
Say again?
How hard is that mental part for you guys, just trying to get through all this, the anxiety, everything?
It's honestly, for others, it's a struggle, but, we're there for them. We always ask them, hey, are you okay? And we always check in on them, and they're like, yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking. So we can tell when one of our sisters is down, and we pick them up.
All right, I think that's it for Sydney. Is that right, guys? All right, why don't you tag Trent in for a couple questions, and then from there.
Trinity, three ball seemed to be working for you. Just how did it feel to be able to get out in front of a crowd again for the first time and kind of, just enjoy a game that was pretty well in your guys' control straight out of the gate?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great opportunity to come out and, showcase what we're all good at. So I think that was good. And then just getting to be in front of a crowd again, that was fun because the energy is way different than a practice with no one, cheering you on, stuff like that. So.
Well, it is a different like you had 1,000 people here in attendance tonight when we thought maybe there might not be a crowd ever this whole season. And you guys didn't play in front of many when you guys were down in Florida. Just kind of what was tonight like?
I think of it, it's a blessing. That we have, the facility that can house a lot of people safely, and that we have the utilities that we can, sanitize, and that we have all these opportunities because there are a lot of schools that aren't having any fans right now. So I just think we're lucky and blessed that we get to, have all those people there to support us. And it shows how, loyal our fans are to be willing to come out and be there to support us. So.
As someone who's kind of seen their numbers probably go up a bit this season, just sorry, Don. I waited and you didn't ask anything. How valuable are games like this for you to kind of get more in-game experience and kind of as we move forward in the season, so you can kind of work out the kinks and be able to be there for your team when they're going to need you off the bench?
Yeah, I think it's extremely valuable. I try and think of, every minute I get as an opportunity just to showcase what I can do, not just to our coaches, but to my teammates and to our fans and stuff. And you learn a lot more during a game than you can, just during a scouting practice, things like that. So, I really enjoy any time I get to play. So, and I'm excited for this year to, get more playing time and get to show what else I can do other than just shoot the three.
All right, Don, you can go now.
Obviously, it was tough losing that last game down in Florida. What did you all learn from that game that helped you going into this home schedule now?
I think we learned just to stay together because sometimes, you get down yourself and you start thinking about what you're messing up on or what you need to fix versus in games like this where we can just continue to pick each other up and we can have some success. And then you can see, what some people are better at with this new, we got some new people on our team. So I think this game helped a lot to, get us back together. And then our last 3 practices have been good. So I think it taught us to stay together and not to just become selfish. So. Yeah.
Anything else, everybody? Okay. Thank you, Trinity.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Trinity.
You know, as a coach, you always find some things to get mad about, but it's hard to keep your team's energy up when you're up by that much and you're playing a team that's, you know, not as talented. But I thought which was our starters a lot of the time, just kept, you know, they stayed engaged. They kept holding everybody to a high standard. They had a lot of energy. I thought our young players got a chance to get out there and get some game experience and play through mistakes. And some of our shooters that we just needed to get a little bit more confidence, I thought they did that too as well.
Well, I mean, you talked on Friday about how excited you were just to be able to play any game that you're going to be able to get this year, but getting out in front of, 1,000 Lady Bear fans for the first time this year, how did it feel to finally get in front of the home fan base for once?
It's awesome. You know, anytime we can get around our fans, we love it. And, you know, you just see what kind of fans we have. They stayed all the way till the end. You know, obviously it was a blowout. You could tell from the first 5 minutes of the game how the game was going to go, but they stayed and they cheered us on. And I just really appreciate that. I'm thankful that we were allowed to have fans and we can do it in a safe way.
How big was today, just kind of following that loss? You guys have the great win, and then you have a loss, and it just sticks around for a while. The last time we saw you guys was that loss.
The Wake Forest loss. Yeah, this week we took some time. You know, we watched some film, obviously let our bodies and minds recover because that was really taxing to open up the season like that with 3 tough games back to back. So I just needed to get them a little bit of a mental and physical reprieve. But at the same time, we do need to get back on the court, get it out of our system because it is kind of hanging over your head. And I think it was good. I mean, we need to learn some things. We need to get better at some things. And I think that you can always learn from that. Sometimes you learn from losses way better than you learn from wins. So for us to get out and do what we did today, I was proud to see. I thought some people really stepped up. Sydney Wilson, I thought she had a great game. She's somebody I've been challenging just to get back to shooting the ball at a high clip. You know, all off season we worked on her driving. And so I thought in Florida, she didn't really take advantage of shooting the ball. So tonight she did that, got her confidence back with that. Elly, Sydney Manning, some of them really shot the ball well. Bryce, I was happy to see that. In our last game, I think we were 1 for 12 from the 3-point line against Wake Forest. So to see us come out and have some success behind the arc was definitely an improvement.
Coach, anyone surprise you tonight? Maybe something you saw that you liked that you didn't know about an individual or really even with your team?
No, I wouldn't say anybody surprised me. I just was proud that, I challenged, some of the players in different areas. I was proud to see them have some success. One being, I just mentioned Sydney Wilson, Emily. These kind of games are hard for Emily. She's a bigger, powerful post player. Obviously, every time she catches it, she's going to have triple team on her, even sometimes 4 kids on her. So just challenge Emily, to be physical and be able to score against the doubles and the triples, and then also be able to guard guards. That's big. And last year she struggled with that, and she's come leaps and bounds with that this year. She did it in Florida Gulf Coast game, and then she did a great job tonight. I really was pleased with her defense, and that's gonna be important when we get to conference because she guards a lot of smaller players. But not even just Emily, all of our post players. So I thought they did a good job guarding. Sometimes when you play teams like this, it's hard when you have traditional bigs like ours. So I would say that. Also, I challenged our freshmen to kind of get out of their head and, just play through mistakes. And I thought as the game went on and they got a little bit more experience under the lights, I thought they got better.
You mentioned the freshmen. Obviously, a lot of the new faces got some opportunities. A lot of the people who don't normally see minutes. In a season when you're not really getting a lot of that non-conference action that you usually would to work them in, how valuable is a game like this to get them that valuable experience?
It's very important, because that's the only game experience is better than anything you can do in practice. Obviously, we try to simulate and put them in adverse positions and situations in practice, but being in a game is how you get better. So for our starters and, our core 8 players, 9 players to do what they were supposed to do so that these kids could come in comfortably with the lead and just start working through, some anxiety, working through mistakes, working through everything. I think it was really important in their growth. I was pleased to see Danny kind of struggled a little bit early in the game, and then she started finishing better towards the end, and she had 10 rebounds, so she was out there rebounding. That's something that I really expect from her at the guard position, even when she moves to the 4. And then Paige is a shooter. She can get downhill a little bit, but her game, her niche is shooting the ball. So, you gotta shoot the ball a little bit more than maybe one or two times like she did in Florida Gulf Coast to get confidence in a game. And she was able to put up some shots today and see the ball go in.
Your next 2, you have a road trip to your biggest rival. Last year was an emotional one, and now you're going there. And then you have a nationally ranked team in South Dakota State coming here. Just how do you, it's not going to be as easy as it was today, but just kind of how do you get the girls kind of going ready for those two?
Oh, they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. You know, that's what this team lives for. We love the challenges. You know, any game in state, no matter who we play, it just brings another level of competitiveness out of us. And in-state rivalries, obviously, we're about to go play one. We're going to be ready for that. You know, it's not going to be an easy game at all. And Mizzou's a better team than they were last year. So we got to clean up some things that I think we were a little bit exposed, even in this game, but also in the Wake Forest game, and just continue to get better. But we're definitely going to be ready. We're going to have energy. This team wants to compete at a high level, and these next two games are going to be, you know, a big test for us. And South State, we were hoping that they would continue to win. They knocked off two ranked teams because we don't have a lot of, you know, typically we have a lot of opportunities to play against high-level teams, and just with the shortened schedule this year, there's not a lot on our schedule. So I'm excited that that'll be a, you know, top 25 matchup here in JQH, and I think our fans will show up, and I think it'll be a great game.
Do you have T-shirts made for Sunday?
You have to wait and see.
Coach, the three balls seem to be working today, especially early on in that opening stretch. It's hard to talk about that without Elly Roughridge. I think it took her all of like 5 seconds after she subbed in to knock down a three. Just how valuable is having an asset like that off the bench for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, that's what Elly does, you know, and it's not the only thing Elly does. She does a lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet. You know, she's a very feisty player. She has a lot in her bag, but she shoots the ball, and we need her to shoot the ball. And I told her after the Wake Forest game, you know, you can't pass up shots, you know, especially if we are getting doubled and tripled inside and we kick it out. I thought she passed up a few shots in that game. So today she was on and she was ready to shoot. So she just, at the end of the day, we just had to make a couple of adjustments. But, you know, the strength of our team, our strength is all over the place. We're versatile. But when people scout us, they think the strength of our team is inside. So we're getting doubled a lot. And so I just need our guards to just step up and have confidence and knock it down, because we can score in a variety of ways.
It seemed like back when, you know, last year and the years before, Elly always seemed to be out there before a game getting shots. She was always out there after a game, before and after practices. Even Sydney said that she always seems to be putting in work, getting those shots. And just how valuable is that personality trait that Elly has, that she's constantly working to try and improve in her game?
I mean, it's huge. And that's why she's one of the best shooters in our conference. And really, when I think she could be one of the best shooters in the country. But it doesn't just come, you know, just based on God-given talent. Yes, she has that, but she puts in the work, and she sets an example for some of our younger players. So now you see Paige following behind her and trying to work as hard as her, because she sees, you know, her upperclassmen doing it, and she sees the success that she has with it. So she's not the only one. We have some really hard workers, some gym rats on our team, but Elly's definitely, you know, probably leads the pack in that.
Coach, how much of a challenge has it been just making sure that the team is staying healthy, doing everything it needs to do, following all the protocols that are needed in order to be able to move forward and play in the schedule?
It's challenging. We've been lucky that, you know, especially since the season has started, we've gotten in most of our games. We had to cancel our Tulsa game because, you know, they were quarantining, but it hasn't been on our end yet. But, you know, that might happen in the future, but we're just trying to do everything we can to keep our players on the court, you know, take all the precautionary measures we need to. Obviously it's challenging, but we don't really focus on that. We just try to look at the glass half full all the time, and know that we're not the only ones that are going through this. Every single team that is trying to play a game has to do this. So it's not a woe is me thing. It's just, this is what we got to do to play and to stay healthy and safe. So that's what we're going to do.
Coach, it's always special thinking toward the Mizzou game. I mean, it's always special for Missouri State to play Mizzou in any sport, and for them to be in a quarantine right now, but to be able to come out in time for your game. Just talk about how special that's going to be.
You know, I'm excited that we get to play the game. I was a little nervous when they went into the quarantine because they canceled, I think, the 3 games before us. So that's a game that the fans love. That's a game that our players love, and I'm sure their players as well, and coaches. So, you know, I'm excited that we still get to play that game. It's a rivalry game. Again, I tell you, the competitive level just goes up even higher. But, you know, them being in a quarantine, it's not, you know, some might say, oh, you guys are in rhythm. They're not. You don't know that. I mean, we've had kids that have had to quarantine from contact tracing. They come back and they're in better shape than they were before they went in. So you just never know how teams are going to come out. And I'm not even really focused on that at all. I'm just excited we get to play the game. I expect them to be full strength. If anything, they're rested. And so I think they're going to come out with a lot of energy and play hard.
Do you see any new games being added to the schedule?
I don't know. I mean, possibly, possibly. This year has been very different. It's like no other year I've ever coached. Usually your schedule's set and you play your games, but we got people calling and we're calling people on a daily basis. And, when that Tulsa game got canceled, we had, I think, 2 other ones that were lined up, but they fell through. So if we can squeeze one in that makes sense and it's enough time to prepare, we will. But we're not going to put ourselves in a situation where we have to play back-to-back games or anything like that.